I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you. And Gwendolyn is right here with me. So she is on screen right in the very beginning. And I'm so good to be. She's my co-host today because we got a lot to say. Anyway, good morning, Gwendolyn. How are you this morning?
How am I this morning?
Yes.
I'm livid. I am livid. I would say angry, but livid and angry are two different emotions. Livid, angry, pissed. Yes, just disappointed extremely.
Disappointed, angry.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I told Gwendolyn this morning, I said, I might use the F word today. I might, because it's just that kind of day.
Yes,
the Democrats never fail to disappoint. Never, ever fail to shoot yourselves in the feet, their face, their hands, their body parts. The Democrats they're just useless. I mean, they just went off the most amazing, blazing week.
Yeah.
The election. Going into the election and finishing out on top of the world. Only the Democrats could do such stupidity. The Democrats are the idiots. And I know there are some Democrats that are not signing on to this stuff.
Yes.
But it always goes down to the people that are in charge of the Democrat Party. Chuck Schumer, all these people, these 8 idiots, these 8 fools, these 8 dumb jackasses, they are the worst. They are absolutely, oh.
You know, I thought about that. I was like, you and I had a chat this morning.
Yes.
I dropped a lot of fucks this morning. Yes, because I may not have any more to give. Like really, because I dropped so many this morning. But like you step back and you say there are some people who clearly have their own agenda.
On their agenda.
Literally live to sabotage, and we're seeing it, right? Like we're seeing people who are retiring, who are not up for re-election, who is like, man, fuck them people, because like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like we are
I'm out. I got mine. I'm out.
Like we are in a fight. Never have you had people who were like, hold the line, just hold the line, hold the line. The community is going to figure it out. The community is going to figure it out. For those who are being impacted, they're going to figure it out. In times of chaos, in the storm, your character, your integrity shows up. As I was telling you, there were people creating food banks in their backyard. You had multiple stores, large and small, donating food, feeding people. The community figured out all you had to do was hold the goddamn line. That's all you had to do.
Hold the line.
That is it.
Hold the line.
And these 8 people, and as I told you, I believe more than the 8 really wanted this, decided, well, you know what? I'm not up for re-election anyway, so okay.
Yeah, and the 8 said, oh, you know what? We're not being re-elected, so we'll take it. For those that don't want to put their name out there, we'll do it for you.
Yes. Yes.
And it is absolutely, you again, the country told these morons that they were with them.
That they supported it.
That they supported them. Just hold the line.
Well, here's the deal, because you and I have talked about this. I know that I'm a person who will burn down some shit to figure some shit out, right? People are like, well, you know what? Jobs are on the line. Let me tell you, Gwendolyn lost her first job because I wrote, as they termed it, an argumentative letter. What I said was, if you don't start treating the black employees fairly, it's going to be war. Those were my words, okay? I said that shit. I was 18 years old. I said that shit. I said it. I got fired. Okay. Here's the deal. This is not, I know you're like, what? This is how long we have been in the place of sometimes you got to burn a bitch down to get results and the changes you want to see. You cannot keep doing the status quo thinking it's going to work out. You cannot keep playing a game where people are cheating and thinking, well, it'll work out for us. No, bitch, it's not going to work out for you. We got to come in here and start putting some shit on the line. You got to figure out what it is that you're willing to give up. The American people said, we are willing to hold this place hostage.
Hold the line.
Go there. We are willing to take care of our neighbors and our loved ones and our community. You got one job to do that we elected you to do. But then that's also the problem. Because some of these bitches need to be put out to pasture. And I mean that. I'm not saying that they need to go someplace.
Yeah. You don't mean unalive or anything. You just mean get out, leave,
just
and get out the seat. If you cannot do your job, get out. There is no need to be in office if you're not going to be there for the people.
Can I do one thing before we get too far? You got a lot of comments coming in.
Let's say hello.
You may want to go there first.
Let's do that first. Hello, Hannah. Hannah's in the building. She says, hold on a second. Hannah says, good morning, Ron and Such Space Daily family. And also, and just so you know, we have a new format. I have 2 formats now. So if you are on Instagram, you can see us in vertical. So which is really great because StreamYard is just been stepping it up all over the place. So you can see us on a vertical and it's nice and even. It looks good. We're not choppy on top of each other. So it looks good over there. For those, it doesn't seem like the Instagram wants to come on. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe there's no, I try to get the Instagram on, but it's not on yet. So, but anyway, Hannah's in the building. She says, good morning. Chris says, she comes in with the silver. Good morning, Chris R. And then obviously G is in the building with I saw those curse words all in that orange. And then TB. Hey, TB, it's so good to see you. Good morning, TB. TB's in the building. And she says, hey, ladies, I've missed you all. Jazzy says, good morning, people. Hey, Brian B is in the building. Mr. Brian Young, creative. Lordy, these Dems. That's all we can say. Lordy, these Dems. Bryson's in the building. He says, what's up, Ron? What's up, Gwendolyn? What's up, everybody? Happy money making Monday. I'll know everybody is upset. Anthony Rowland's in the building. He says, good morning. I just made it home from Baltimore. Lisa's in the building. She says, good morning. Jazzy says, I think we have to make it clear. It's 8 people in the party, not the whole party. I agree with that
one. Let's flag it. Let's flag it. We'll come back to that. Yeah, start that one.
We're gonna flag it. Okay, thank you, dear. Flagging that one. Okay, yes. There we go. And then Jazzy says, say what you want about Jeffries, but he has his side in lockstep. Okay, they're gonna put us. I'm gonna flag that one too. Let's flag it. Flag it. Plug it. Flag it. Flag it. Flag. Ryzen says, and Charlemagne gave Roland Martin donkey of the day, and it's not going to be pretty. And Democrats bend the knee with doo-doo Don, and he has there at the game. Oh,
but Roland Martin was right. Charlemagne the God, no. Roland was correct.
Roland's correct.
So next. Because ain't nobody worried about, like if you out there shucking and jiving, of course it works for you. Next.
Cass says, bless Motivation Monday all. And then Lisa says, it's Schumer. He put this together. I believe it. First of all, they can't do it without him signing off. So that's another story. Yep. That's Democrats. Mm-hmm. It's a mess. And I'm angry because it was for nothing. Anthony says, and you can keep on putting it in the comments, and make sure you hit the likes. I was in the airport, cousin. I effing hate it here. A bunch of stupid cowards. They better count their days. And now you got Anthony Rowland upset. Mr. Anthony Rowland is the comments of us all. The effing. I told Gwendolyn, I said, I can tell you. Woo! I felt all kinds of curse words bubbling up in me today, last night. But really this morning, I was just, you gotta be freaking killing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Cass says she's laughing. Bryson says, "What up, Jazzy? You're good." Bryson says, "What's up, Brian?" Lisa, she says, "Also, I think it could be easier for people to get food as opposed to people getting met." We gotta put a pin on that one. Put a
Put a
pin.
pin. Yep, we're gonna start.
You gotta put a pin there. Come on now, says Brian. Come on now. And Cass says, what's this?
Some serious purging.
Some serious
purging.
God dang it, dog. Nice visuals.
So let's go
okay.
with that one. So we'll put Jazzy, if you want to, we can put Jazzy in Lisa's comments. Like we'll talk about them right now, right? Because this is all linked together.
Yeah,
I'll let you read it, but we can get into it.
Okay, says, I think we have to make it clear it's 8 people in the party, not the whole party. Now, we have the Democrat Party is like, for instance, we always say, what's done for one is done for all. Now, we all know the Democrat Party has progressive folks in it. We also know that there are people in the Democrat Party that have been fighting for the people. Mm-hmm. We know that most of the Democrat Party was for this shutdown and was willing to hold the line. But it is also the Democrat Party that has allowed these established Democrat leaders to remain in their party. They have been a problem under when Obama was in office. They have been a problem. The establishment of the Democrat Party needs to be voted out, every single fucking one of them. And I said it. That's it. You won't hear it, but excuse it. But they need to be voted out, every single one of them. Every single one of these people. The establishment must go. They must go. They must be voted out. They must be purged out. They must go. And it is because the Democrat Party has been okay with this for a long time. Well, finally, maybe they will say, finally, we need to purge them all. Because at the end of the day, this is, like Gwendolyn and I talked earlier today, this is about the haves, the have-nots, the corporations against the people, the billionaires against the common folks, the racists against the rest of us. This is warfare. And they are taking no hostages. Have you ever seen the Republicans yield and say, I'm going to join the Democrats? Why can't the Democrats have people in it? And having a broad tent is no excuse. Having a big umbrella is not an excuse.
Yeah.
Because there are different types of Republicans. But the Republicans stay the course. They stay the line. And they will get ready to crumble after Tuesday.
It was very clear that their policies are not popular and it's not working for the people. Like, I don't know what else has to happen for that to be so clear. You got a guy out here who's throwing mad parties and people are going hungry, being laid off, but giving other person this massive bonus package. It's like, what else needs to happen for y'all to realize that this is it? But again, when you have people who have been there forever, they lose touch. They are so out of touch. We have talked about the fact that the wage should not be $7 in a couple of quarters in 2025. That's that bullshit right there. Like, what the hell? At this point, They just need to go. They need to go. And like we mentioned, you have these 8 who are not up for re-election. They have nothing to
Cowards.
lose, which is why I'm like, if you
Cowards.
ain't doing nothing, get up and get out and let somebody come in and do something. Because, like, why stay there? What's the point?
And now I'm wondering, were these 8 people paid off by the billionaires? Who knows? We don't know.
You know, it's in my head, I believe,
You are a selfish son of a gun.
yeah.
When you say, "Oh, I don't have to worry about my election today, but I'm now going to let the whole country suffer for healthcare."
Yes. Healthcare. We're talking healthcare.
Healthcare,
These are very basic
children.
things. These are very basic things. Okay, so you and I were chatting this morning. There are some people right now that are so obsessed with the millionaire, billionaire, and whatever. It's flat out American greed. Call it what it is. You're not going to get there. You're never going to get there. And I hate saying never, but you're never going to get there. Why? Because they have to exploit you to get their billions.
Yes.
That's how that shit works. Plain and simple. You don't get it for nothing. Somebody had to work at $7.25, $7.50, $10 for you to get the $2 million package. Understand that shit. That's how that works. So yeah, do I believe some of these folks took a little money? Yeah, I do. They do. They have some other interest somewhere. Something went down. That's how I see it. It's just so disappointing that we are here again with this party. Like, I don't know how to get a third party. Like, you have independents, but even over there, it's just, I just don't understand why we just can't have people who represent us. Now, we do have people. There are Dems in there who are working for their constituents. There's some young blood out here that wants to see something different. We have to do our job as voters and get them in those positions. That's what it is. It is time to go grassroots. It's time to get back into, as we say, door to door. And it's not about the money. I was sharing with Jazzy just this weekend, there were 2 young Black people who won their spot and didn't spend all the money. You got to go where people are. You have to go where they are, and you have to meet them where they are and be true to why you're doing it. If you truly are fed up and frustrated and want something different, you're going to have to get up and fight for some shit. That's where we are. That's it. This is it, which is why I was like, I don't see the point in waiting for November to shut some stuff down. Shut that shit down today. Because clearly, if we don't do it, it's just going to be status quo.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Man, I am. Ooh, it's just.
Yes.
Man, what else are they saying on the? We have also Jazzy saying, hold on, just get this here. Trying to get the Instagram folks on here now that we have this new platform here, but we'll see. They may not come in. But Jay says, say what you want about Jeffries, but he has the side in lockstep. Now, again, Jeffries is not he is in the minority party in the House. So in the House of Representatives. So there's only but so much he can do now, because when this legislation is passed in the Senate and now goes to the House of Representatives, the Republicans are going to just say yes. They don't need the Democrats. It was up to the Democratic Senate, senators, Democratic senators, to hold the line. They put their self ahead of 15 million people at a minimum. It's going to affect 100 million of us. It's just,
yeah.
I mean, when I heard because I went to bed probably about 1 o'clock, and I think it was 1 o'clock this morning I think it was this morning. It was Jolly. Y'all know about Jolly, who was out there protesting, and he said, "I am done." He said, "I am done. Democrats, because he was talking to his Democrat. He says, throw my number away. Don't give me a call. Don't call me when you want my support. I am done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Reese, our black woman who's our economic financial guru. Reese, Reese says she was so disappointed, discouraged. I, I have not seen anything good online about this. No one has said, "Oh, this is a good thing." You mean to tell us that this went on for 40 days? 40 days shut down.
Yeah.
And you get nothing, you concede with nothing.
Nothing.
In the hope that they'll bring it up in December. These fools, the Democrats are idiots. Idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I was speechless, just a tad speechless this morning. Even last night though, like last night I got caught up and I was like, am I reading this correctly?
Yep.
Am I reading this correctly?
Yeah,
it's beyond disappointing. But you know what? I go back to this. Sometimes you're gonna have to get in a really bad place until that idea of changing becomes unbearable. You're not gonna change. We haven't changed. Like Jazzy was saying, how yes, we do it to ourselves. We keep voting in, even us, right? So all voters, you vote for people that are doing the same old thing. And as I tell you before, people talk about, or they use the phrase, well, what's the worst thing that can happen? The phrase should be, what is the best thing that can happen? You've done the same thing over and over again, and it's not working for you. It's not working for you. Racism is expensive. Hate is expensive. Voting against your best interest is very expensive. Okay, so those people, they're never going to learn. Screw those people. Surely there's more people who are like, you know what? I don't want this to be like this. So let me go ahead and do something different, because what's been happening isn't working. Like everywhere, I shouldn't say everywhere. There are a number of places in the US where we are behind the times. Living wages, behind the times. The way that we treat older workers, behind the times. And yes, I'm talking ageism in the matter of work, right, not in this area. We are behind the times. We are still trying to do stuff like it's the 1940s, 1950s. It is not. It is 2025. People need to know when to leave, let their ego go, and let some fresh blood and ideas come in and take us into the future. But this right now, this is not it. This is not it.
Well, here's some clips. Here's a Bernie. God bless him. I know people don't like to talk about Bernie, but let me tell you, Bernie's
Republicans to allow them to go forward on this continuing resolution. And to my mind, this was a very, very bad vote. What it does, first of all, is it raises healthcare premiums for over 20 million Americans by doubling, and in some cases tripling or quadrupling. People can't afford that when we are already paying the highest prices in the world for healthcare. Number two, it paves the way for 15 million people to be thrown off of Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. Studies show that will mean that some 50,000 Americans will die every year unnecessarily. And all of that was done to give $1 trillion in tax breaks to the 1%. As everybody knows, just on Tuesday, we had an election all over this country. And what the election showed is that the American people want us to stand up to Trumpism, to his war against working class people, to his authoritarianism. That is what the American people wanted, but tonight, that is not what happened. So we've got to go forward, do the best that we can to try to protect working class people, to make sure that the United States not only does not throw people off of health care, but ends the absurdity of being the only major country on earth that doesn't guarantee health care to all people. We got a lot of work to do, but to be honest with you, tonight was not a good night. Thank you.
Also,
tonight, 8 Democrats.
Well, there you have it. Democrats just caved and bent the knee to Donald Trump and the Republicans. The government has been shut down for 40 days, and one of the main things that Democrats were asking for is an extension of the ACA subsidies so people have affordable health care that they can access. And the Republicans left it out of the bill, and we agreed to that. People's premiums were doubling, tripling. And now the agreement is that we hope Republicans vote on it in December, which doesn't even guarantee a vote in the House. It is pathetic. And let me be clear, not every Democrat voted with the Republicans, so I'm going to read the names of the Democratic senators who did. You have Hassan from New Hampshire, Shaheen from New Hampshire, Fetterman, of course, from Pennsylvania, King from Maine, Kane from Virginia, Cortez Masto from Nevada, Rosen from Nevada, and Durbin from Illinois. Republicans are the reason for the shutdown. They're the reason that healthcare prices are going to skyrocket for over 20 million Americans, but Democrats just allowed them to do it. We allowed them. We bent the knee, we caved. It is pathetic. Well, there you have it.
And we'll go into this subject a little bit later, but.
Well, there you have it.
Hey, folks, I just voted no on this funding deal. And it's because in the richest country in the world, we should be able to afford helping the American people with healthcare, with their costs. And they're skyrocketing because this president doesn't care about them, and he wanted to give a big giant tax cut to the wealthiest Americans and pay for it by jacking up people's healthcare costs. Hey folks, I just voted no on this funding deal, and it's because in the richest country in the world, we should be able to afford helping the American people with healthcare, with their costs. And they're skyrocketing because this president doesn't care about them, and he wanted to give a big giant tax cut to the wealthiest Americans and pay for it by jacking up people's.
So this is what Lisa says also. I think it could be easier for people to get food as I opposed to people getting medical care. Both are important. Don't get me wrong, but community can help with food. We can't do surgery.
Let me throw some thoughts in there. And if you would bring up Bryson's comment real quick, if you would, that'd be great.
Yeah,
you would bring up Bryson's comment, if you would, that'd be great. I think his one that says that things aren't cheap or something like that. Something like that. That's what he was saying, like things aren't cheap and something of that nature. If that.
Everybody else up. Get back. Get ready for airports being delayed. No, Bryson has a couple of things.
He says everything is not cheap. Prices is going to skyrocket, and because of tariffs and the money, Republicans don't care about that. Okay, so here is what I was saying last week. I'm going to say it again because it's a cycle. All of this stuff works together. So I want you to peep game real quick. We have a minimum wage that's what, $7.25, $7.50. It's been that way since 2009. It has not kept up with inflation. Even if you were to pay someone today $25 or $30 an hour, that's just minimum of what it would take to survive in 2025. Okay, hear me. That's not the max. That's the minimum to be able to take care of your rent, your food, and whatever healthcare is left. And maybe there's a little sprinkle there for something that you want to treat yourself to. Okay, that's minimum. So that's always happening. That's been happening. Here is the kicker though with that. If you look at what they're putting in play, that you want to take away education, that here in Texas, they're trying to privatize education. You are working for what we've talked about in Project 2025, a working class, but a poor working class. Why would anybody want to get into a 50-year mortgage? Because that's that bullshit. Now, I'm not an economist, and I did my time doing some stupid stuff when I was 20-something, but I understand some very basic math. If it takes you longer to pay for something, it doesn't make it cheaper. It makes it more expensive. But peep what they're doing. You get rid of healthcare, right? A lot of folks only get a full-time job to get healthcare, okay? You don't get paid very much on the job you do have if you can get a, as they say, good job, right? You're trying to figure out, so how am I supposed to get all this done? Like I can't pay for food and I can't do this. I can't afford to miss work. There's all these can'ts in there. There's a lot. And then you want to add a 50-year mortgage because now I can get a house, but I can't really afford the house. And it'll be like $900-something thousand in interest before I pay for the house. Yeah, it's stupid, but it's part of a plan, part of a bigger plan. So if you're not going to fight for something, And in this point, we are fighting for not only healthcare, we're fighting for a living wage. I am team shut all the shit down. They can't move if you're not there to make it move. It ain't like some CEO is going to get out and go bag groceries at the grocery store. That shit ain't happening. They're not going to hop on the phone. They're not going to answer the chats. They're not going to fly the fucking plane. At some point, you got to say, if I want something better, let me put all the shit on the fucking line and fight for that shit. That's where we are. Now, granted, I like blowing shit up. Okay? And I figure it out afterwards. But I know that this isn't working. That's not working. So, yeah, let it be more expensive. It's not like it's already expensive anyway. It's already there.
Well, that's amazing. You're right. Oh, I mean, we had a lot of trolls come in here. I had to do a lot of clicking over here, cleaning up the screen over here about while you're speaking. I mean, but you know you're on the right track when the trolls come. That's what I always say. You're on the right conversation. The trolls are out there. Go ahead.
I'm looking at Lisa's comment, and I'm gonna turn it over to you after this. But that stimmy, that 2000. This feels like, and I've never done drugs, but I have families who have suffered from the addiction. You give people enough to keep them hooked. We all know $2,000 ain't nothing. We know that. And you also got that guy, but whatever he's saying, that 2,000 will just be in tax breaks. Yes. So even if it was to happen, you're not going to see it anyway. At some point, we have to realize that they want to take this country back to a time where we didn't have the rights to do what we're doing, where you couldn't do half the stuff you're doing. Like, we take so much for granted. And I get it, because somebody else has fought for this foundation. This foundation is crumbling. It is now our time. If you want it for your kids, if you want it for yourself, you're going to have to fight for this. And it's about to get ugly. We haven't even hit it yet. We're still waiting for how ugly it's going to get.
It's going to get real ugly. And all they had to do is hold the ground. It's just shocking. Anyway, so everybody's angry about that. We all know everyone's angry. Everyone's got something to say. And but here's something I also did you see this latest? I had to pop it on the screen. It was a teaser. Here we go. Let me get there. And there we go. Here we go. I know no one's surprised about this. No one is surprised. President Trump pardons Rudy Giuliani and more key figures involved in efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
Here's my thought. And this is going to sound awful, but I don't care. You have a felon in the White House. What else do you fucking expect? And I know I've said that word a lot because I'm really angry at this point, but who cares? Right? On the one hand, we should care, right? Because here you have pardoned January 6ers who are out there cosplaying as ICE agents, and you've got the crypto guy and that Santos dude who took and stole people's money. You have all these criminals being released, but what do you expect from a criminal? Criminal behavior. And keep in mind that there are a third of Americans voted for that.
Yes.
So am I surprised? No. Do I care? Fuck no, I don't care. What do we expect? You got Miss Maxwell down here saying, wow, it sure is nice in Texas in this prison. Yeah, this is what they do. You protect pedophiles and everybody else who's stealing from people. Next, what's the next news? Because this is not news. At this point, I need to talk about some solutions for what we need to do going forward. I mean, don't nobody care. I mean, it's what he's been doing. Mm-hmm. They're not surprised, and they're not even fighting it. They're all complicit. So I don't think that we should give any more energy into that. That's my thought. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
Sorry.
No sorry at all. I just wanted to put it out there. It just came out today that and this is what I keep saying. And you hear me say it over. I get into I have my family squabbles, or kind of like we go back and forth, my brothers and I. And I said to them, I told them on Wednesday, they were all excited. Ron, the Democrats they're doing their thing, they're doing it, blah 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 blah. And I said, wait, just give them time. Just give them a little time. And they're gonna definitely mess it all up, muck
Yeah.
it all up. And they did.
They
It wasn't
did.
a week yet. It wasn't a week. It wasn't even not. It wasn't. It was not a week, and they mucked it up. And so, do you actually think this is to a community? Do you actually think there will be a 2026 election? Do you think there will be a 2026 election?
I just okay. Despite the fact that I'm seeing what I'm seeing, there is still a sliver of me that believes. So, I mean, here's how I look at it, and I talk about this, and I know I may sound extremely violent. I don't know, maybe I am. I just probably haven't put my arms around it. But I mean, I would be at work telling people this is real. There's a guy at work who said, I can't talk to Gwendolyn. She's hard to talk to. And so I told my boss, if I punched him in his throat, would he ask for help then? She's like, Gwendolyn, that's not the thing we should say, but it's real, right? Because if I punch you in your throat, then all of a sudden you feel the need to get up and start doing I'm like, I can't breathe. Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking. I believe that U.S. citizens are going to get gut punched, kicked in the throat a few more times. And it's going to be enough to get even those who are on the sideline, like, why should I care? Why does it matter? It's going to get them to even say, okay, this has gotten real. It's gotten real. And it's going to be one of those where if you want to come in and start doing what you're doing and just take over some stuff, it becomes a fight or flight. I'm a Houston. We stay fighting some shit. Okay. So I believe that despite all that's happening, there is going to be something that is going to push people to be like, it's not happening here. I refuse to have it happen here. Do I think the French Revolution is not too far behind for the American citizens? That sucker's coming. It is coming. So I don't believe that it's going to be to a place where we don't have our midterms. We are going to see some of these get out of pocket. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to go to a place of martial law. I believe we'll take a more nonviolent approach and we'll just start sitting out some stuff. People are talking about the blackout, November 25th. I say people start not going to work today because it ain't like you getting what you're getting anyhow. So just start a few here, a few there, a few there. And again, I know we say one monkey don't stop no show, but 200,000 monkeys, 400,000 monkeys, some giraffes, a couple of pandas. We can change some stuff. That's what I'm believing. We don't know the power we have. And once we recognize that power, I believe there will be a shift. So yes, I do think there will be a midterm in 2026. I do believe so.
I see them trying to push a war for Venezuela, and because they want to have that war going on, so they can get rid of the elections. That's just my thinking.
This is if you really step back and peep game, as we say, then you can see what's happening, what's about to happen. Now, you could also just read that book that is still out there, by the way. You can do that too. But we've been talking for a year now about building community, like getting in some people's faces, some real people. We've been talking about getting your essentials, your rice, your beans, all the things. We've been talking about that. We have made a lot of notions about, because like we've been here. Now, I haven't been here, right? Like my parents dealt with it, my granny dealt with it, but I've heard stories, I've seen remnants, and we understand how to make do when it feels like there's no way. Black folks gonna find a way. I mean, we obviously find a way, but we've talked about this. And so we are at that place where people are seeing things. They're like, I don't understand why they just caved in. I don't have faith in the leadership. I don't have faith in X, Y, and Z. You can get really frustrated. You got 2 ways to do it. Now, we're not going to go out here and start blowing up stuff. I know I said too many times, you might get banned here. We're not going to go out here and start burning things down, but you have to use what you have. It's like playing spades. We have a handful of spades, and that is our labor. Right? If you don't have people to do the things don't get done. I'm not sure where the math don't come in. There's more of us than it is of them.
Yeah.
That's why it's called 1%. Last time I checked in my math class, 99 was bigger than the 1. So we got some people who align themselves with the
1%.
I'm adjacent to, and I know this famous person. That's not you, bitch. Okay, cut that shit out. This is a working class thing. This is a class thing, as you say.
Yeah.
This is where we are.
There are more of us, the working people of the country,
yes,
than the billionaires.
We are in a country that has all this money. Why are people with the smallest hint, the smallest dip or stop of assistance in food lines? Why? Why do we not have affordable health care? And why are we so against raising this living wage? I should say living wage, raising the wage to a living wage. And even then, you would still be at poverty level. Check it. If you were making $30 an hour, you were still not bringing home bank. Like here you're like, really? Like seriously? I can be making $30 an hour and still be in poverty in America. I want you guys to hear me really quick. Like that math is not mathing. None of it adds up. But we want to fight everything else. You want to worry about somebody marrying somebody. You want to worry about what somebody's got between their legs. You want to protect the pedophiles, but you don't want to handle what needs to be handled. Can we get some money first?
This is, Lisa said, I saw this also. This was so disturbing. See, I saw a video where the police stopped a guy from giving out food to people who needed it. What happened to protect and serve? And that police officer was so rude. I saw it. And then he said, you don't have to be so nasty. I mean, why is it that there's a part of our population that is okay with being just mean, nasty? I mean, this guy's giving food to people that are hungry.
And that's a crime.
Right? Okay, Elise is in the building. What's going on, Elise?
Hey.
Bring in your 2 cents.
Oh yeah, I think Gwendolyn, you all know I've been saying it forever.
Yes.
Slow it down today. Why are you waiting until November 25th? Because I think that people lose sight of where stuff really emanates from. We're talking about their focus is around business, right? I understand the billionaires and all that, but where is it coming from? And that's what you need to shut down. The country needs to be shut down because it needs to impact the administration that is coming from.
Yes.
They don't care necessarily that you're not shopping, you're not doing all these things, but they care if you shut this stuff down. Like they care if, like take the airline industry, because some of them are still showing up. They don't feel the pressure. We're just gonna cut 10%. No, if the majority of them don't show up, and you cannot open something, it's not cutting 10%. You can't have anything. That's right. When you show your power, because people have the power. So then we look at next steps, because I know people are like, the Dems that voted, they're not up for re-election. Okay, so one's leaving, whatever. However, we've talked about this before. This is when you start building, doing the groundwork, and identifying their replacements.
That's right.
You start identifying their replacements now. So by the time they come up in 2 years, you know who these people are.
That's right.
And if someone wants to do that, get your name out there now. Start doing some work now. Start working in the vineyards now so that people see you, they recognize you, and you can get these people out. They all old. They all need to go. So get them out. And it's just so many things that we need to do. around that point of someone who's willing to say, oh, I'm willing to vote on something, but that doesn't mean I'm going to vote for it. That's stupid. So it was a stupid move. Altogether, that was the stupidest move I've ever seen. Well, they promised to talk about it in December. But however, the open enrollment period ends in November.
Yes.
Right? So
December 1st, right? The 30th, November 30th, the last day.
Yeah, it ends in November.
Yes.
So the premiums are in place. You're not helping the people.
No.
You're not going to help them. And your promise for December is what? Why did you promise? What is the offer? Because they're not going to help you in any of these states. So I think it's all just crazy. And I think
Kimmy says December 7th is the last day for enrollment.
But I think the important part for people to remember is what Gwendolyn said. You all know I talk about this all the time. We're 99% of y'all got to stop thinking that you're not in that bucket with me. You're in the bucket. All 99% of you are in that bucket.
You're all in it together.
We're all in this muck and murk. We're all in that pot that's boiling, and our skin is starting to peel together.
Yeah.
And if we don't start acting like that, that's what we get. And you gotta, my daughter said it, she said it on her page, say, when are the people gonna wake up? When are the people gonna do something? She said, she said something different than what Gwendolyn said. We ain't burnt nothing down yet.
Thank you. I know, okay, so it sounds awful. It sounds awful to say you can't burn it down. Think about wildfires, and I'm here in Texas. In order to prevent wildfires from even starting, we burn shit down.
You have to start a fire.
We burn it down. We start a fire. And then you come back and you got, oh my God, look at these pretty trees. Yes, you're going to have to burn some shit down. People going to get hurt. Yes, some people are going to get hurt. I know that sounds awful. I know it does. It's like, what? Yes, people are going to get hurt. Because if you keep going with, well, we can just do this. What we've been doing is not working.
It's not working.
There's no lesson learned. It has to hurt if it's going to heal. That's all I'm going to say.
And if anyone ever wanted to understand what the term capitulate means, it meant what those 8 Democrats did yesterday. Yes, they surrendered. They capitulated. So that's what it means. You got nothing from it.
Nothing.
That's what it meant. You got absolutely nothing.
You got nothing. That's what I think. That's what has angered everyone, is that the country shut down for 40 days.
Right.
You saw that the blue wave happened in response of it.
Right.
People were saying, we are with you, Democrats. We are with you. We're with you. We're with you.
Right.
Not because they had great candidates. They were just simply saying, we stand by you because you are holding the ground. You're holding.
So I want to kind of address the 2 things that Jazzy said. Jazzy, absolutely, the people just proved they're willing to stand in the gap. They were out there getting food for each other, for people. Yes. They were out there doing everything they could. We have restaurants who are feeding federal workers. They proved that they're willing to fill the gap. We just have to have people who are willing to hold the line.
That's right. Hold the line.
That's what we didn't have. The people were filling the gap because they were excited that these people, these politicians would hold the line. So they were putting the food out there. They had free farmers markets. You got a grocery store in Baltimore every Friday. There's free food. You had people with food in front of their houses in containers for people to have those things. So they proved that they'll step up for the community who may not have. So I think I don't think that's the question. The problem we have are the people who are willing to hold the ground when the people come out. And I think that's part of the anger that some people are going to have. They were doing all these things that were helping people. They were helping people make sure they had grocery. They were making sure that people had the stuff they needed and they were fed. There were people who were doing more work at these food banks, volunteering. They were out there making sure food banks had money. A man who started a little food thing in front of his house. People put thousands of dollars in his mailbox so they could help contribute to that, so he could continue doing that. And other people started bringing them in. So I don't think it's a question of whether or not the people are willing to step in. It's whether or not the politicians are willing to hold the line when the people have demonstrated that they are, and they did. These people absolutely stood in there. All around the DMV, people were out here making sure people were getting food. Because, we have all these federal workers. They were making sure these federal workers were fed. Restaurants giving
Yes.
them free lunches. They were doing. They were making sure, telling you come in, show your federal ID, you got whatever you got food. They were doing the work. Jose Andres, all of his restaurants. So that they are willing to fill the gap. I think you have to have someone that's willing to toe the line, who's willing to really be in the fight with you. And that's what they have to have. So someone who is advocating on your behalf. I want people to understand the community was starting to be a community.
Yes.
Unite.
Elise, say that again. Say it again. The people were what?
The community was starting to be a community.
And this is where we are in America. Yes, we've gone away. We've drifted away from community.
Yes.
And this incident, this shutdown was causing it was brewing community. Even when I was stuck on the tarmac on Saturday morning at the airport, we could not fly because we didn't have enough air traffic controllers. They called out. So, but you know what, the people, not one person was angry. Not one person was screaming and yelling. The pilot came out and said, "We're so sorry. This is out of our hands, but we're going to make sure that you are comfortable." They gave us extra water. They gave us extra snacks. They did. And they said, "It's been difficult to fly under these conditions, but we are here for you." And no one in the cabin said, "Oh, get us off the ground, blah, 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 blah." No, everyone understood that this was a shutdown because of healthcare.
Right. And
providing healthcare, helping people, helping their fellow Americans.
Affordable healthcare.
Affordable healthcare.
Affordable. And people understood. Like I said, like when I came out there, I was 3 hours late. 3 hours late getting to where I needed to go. 3 hours late getting off the ground. But I was okay.
And that's okay.
Why? Because they were fighting. We were in the fight together. All of the people in that airplane, we all knew. Everyone was just having conversations and talking and doing their own thing and just doing their work and on the computers and just saying, "Okay, this is where we are."
Yeah.
That community was, and you know what? And the billionaires do not like when community form.
Can I jump on that? Can I jump on that? Because old dude who owns what's that, Cristaldi's or whatever in New York City, which was never in my neighborhood, and I was in Chelsea. But he was like, "I'm gonna go to Florida. I'm take all of your money and that bad attitude to Florida. Take it." Like, really, it's not like you're helping people in the community, giving them lower grocery prices. You're not helping them.
And just remember, it's 8 million people in New York. We talk about a small fraction, but I want you to look at this too, and I wanted us to talk about the comment from Glockboy 111.
Oh, right here. Where Glockboy, that's life, unfortunately.
These people can get jobs. Let's Glockboy, I want you to understand something. That you're working on the misguidance, misinformation, disinformation, and lies that people have told. People who are getting some of this support have jobs.
Yes.
As Gwendolyn already said, you can do everything on $7.25 or less. If you're in the food service industry, it's less because you have to depend on those tips. So Glockboy, it's not about them not wanting to be on the government handout. It's not handouts. These people are working. It's because you're not getting a living wage so that you can afford to live where you are and eat and have health insurance for you and your family. That's the problem. It's because this country and these politicians refuse to eat. The federal minimum wage is $7.25. That is not a living wage. So if you want people to not have to have subsidy based on the tax, by the way, these are taxes that they already put into the system anyway. Because these people are working and their tax dollars are the tax dollars that are helping them with the subsidies. I always want to have that correction too. So as I have to have some of that money back that I paid into the system through my taxes, it's not a handout. It's some of my money coming back to me because I cannot afford to live where I live because of the insufficiency of my income, because the billionaires in this country and the politicians who serve them do not want to make sure I have a living wage so that I can do it. Not everyone can go out here, and I'm happy that you were able to get a better paying job. That's wonderful. One that where you can afford everything that you need. But these people are looking at basic necessity, and everybody assumes that a homeless person is homeless because they don't have their work. There are homeless people who work.
Who are working. Yes.
There are some of the people don't let this go over your head. Some of the people receiving SNAP benefits work for one of the biggest groups of billionaires in the country, the Walton family at Walmart.
Wally World,
their employees are getting SNAP benefits because Walmart does not pay them a living wage. So I want that to be real clear to anyone who comes on this platform. Do not sit up here and buy into the okie doke, the being bamboozled that these people are on there because of what they're not doing. They're on here because people refuse to pay them a living wage to live in the places where no one has said rent is going to freeze, groceries not going to go up. But by the way, all of this is going to go up, but not your pay. So that's my lecture for that. That's my response to that.
So I'm going to add on to that because I was telling Ron before, the one thing I hate about leaving my job as a hiring manager is that I was able to give people wages that were above industry at a time where people were like, no, that they should only get 10. It's like, I'm not doing 10. If you were working part-time, I was throwing out $14, $15, $16, $18 an hour because I understood that what they were making would not be great at that time for part-time. Now that's part-time work. Okay. That's the one thing I hated about leaving my job, was being able to stay ahead and be one of those forward-thinking business leaders to pay people more than what the industry was paying. Because I understand when you have people who don't understand that, then you get what you get currently right now. But yes, you are correct. When I am at the food bank, the people who are there are working families. And that is the problem. That's the problem. We have this really twisted idea that the person who is a billionaire, millionaire, whatever, is either highly intelligent or they worked hard for their money. They grabbed the bootstraps. That's that bullshit. If you could cheat people, you'd be rich too. Hello? Now, I don't have that character. I don't have the character of cheating people. I don't have that. I never hired somebody with the idea of exploiting them. And I know people talk about, oh, well, if you have this job, you have security. That's false security. Because at any point that they want to get rid of you, they get rid of you. Which is why my mom always said, you work with people, not for people. So in this moment, I have no problem saying, don't fucking go to work. They need you. It's not the other way around. They need you to get this stuff done. Without you, and we'll use Wally World, without them exploiting their workers, they wouldn't get what they currently have. And it is exploitation. Call it what it is. You are paying people below what they should be paid for. And then you have American workers right now who believe that's okay. Please tell me how that works. Tell me why you believe that somebody who's not doing your job should pay you less than what it's worth. Make that make sense to me, because I'm not understanding. I don't get it. You really believe that the person who brought in XYZ should get paid like $2 million or whatever, but the person who's literally in front of you doing the manual labor deserves like $8? That makes sense to you?
And
it's
when,
ridiculous.
So I always like when people really reveal who they are, Ron. I just want to know when people really reveal who they are. So the person I address, I know what you support and who you are. But anyway, it's not about what state you live in, because
exactly.
we don't live in the same state. So don't make an assumption. We know what assuming does, and I don't have to. You can look at the letters and interpret that for yourself to assume what it does.
Exactly.
Don't assume if everyone live in Oklahoma. People live in Oklahoma. There are people who live in plenty of states in rural areas. I want you to understand, the majority of the people getting these benefits do not live in the big cities as you think they do. Mm-mm. They're in rural areas. They're struggling. So it's not about your state. It's about your income. It's about what people are doing and how they are willing to allow all of this inflation to happen. So as you reveal yourself, Be true to who you are.
And I'm an honorary New Yorker, so I've done my time in New York City. It's not like I don't
Again,
understand.
most of the people that are getting these SNAP are not
Yeah.
from New York.
They're
and
not.
from big
It's
cities.
like
They're
people.
from the red
They don't
states.
look like
Here's
most of
how
the
I
people
see
that
it.
get it don't look
If
like
you
us.
if
Yes,
you have
they
never
don't
been
look
in a
like us.
position, then you don't get it. Now I'm gonna tell my story real quick. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
was born and raised in Houston, Texas. Yes, I have lived more than 10 years in New York City. Yes, I have been homeless. Okay, been homeless. Never got a chance to get on assistance. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. But I had to figure out, me and my car, where we were going to go and sleep and do all the things. So when I talk about something, trust and believe, I understand all that bullshit. Trust and believe it. Yes, I've used Planned Parenthood, not for abortion, but for fucking health care, for women's tests, right? That's what I use Planned Parenthood for. So when people talk about shit, unless you have walked in these fucking shoes, don't say shit about not a goddamn thing. When I volunteer at the food bank, it's because I understand food insecurity in my life as a goddamn adult who was working a job when she was homeless. Okay? And yeah, I didn't have healthcare for a little bit. So we're not going to talk about that either. So I get it. When I see those cars, each car representing 6 working families, I get frustrated. And I start cussing like a fucking sailor because we should not have people who are working and still needing to find help to put food on their fucking table. They are doing everything they're supposed to do. Plain and simple. That is it.
And I think you said exactly what we were all saying in our heads, ready to say it for you. Because I was like, oh, I want to talk about it. And at least, thank you so much. Yeah, obviously there's and again, you know you're on the right topic when you got the trolls, or you got people that just choose to come in. They're trolls. They come in to just stir up. That's just they have no other purpose in life. But once you find purpose, like helping people, going to the food bank, helping people, donating to the needy. Once you find your purpose and you mingle with people that don't have and understand they don't have, doesn't mean they don't work, doesn't have, doesn't mean they don't care, doesn't have, doesn't mean they're on drugs, doesn't have, doesn't mean any of those things. So the trolls in the building, you're welcome to be the trolls. We welcome the trolls. Because you have a right to be a troll, but we also have a right to defend the truth.
And I think that's the important part, that because the people come in and they troll, they do what they do, and they know what happens here. But the part is, check your own humanity.
Yes.
And because and you assuming that people aren't working 2 jobs and still not making enough, that's a poor assumption as well, because those 2 jobs still aren't paying living wages. Hence the reason you do that. And the rural areas are some of the most impacted areas. Those are the places that the affordable health care actually was put in place to help, because they were uninsured or underinsured.
Yes.
And we're paying bills out of the kazoo. So understand the truth. And the truth is not sitting in with this administration. This administration it lies every day, all day long. And the truth is, people here, this country can do a better job of healthcare for their citizens. That's a given. They can do a better job of if they're not going to help and support things not continue to increase and continue to increase as they are, then they have to do a better job advocating that people get paid enough to be able to, when they provide these services, to be able to survive and thrive and live and pay their rents and stuff. Because people don't want to just go out there and get money. They don't have a choice because of the places. I could pick up and move. Okay, it costs to move. And then when you go to other places, you got to also have a job. And we see what's happening with the job market in this country.
But may I add one thing? Because we've gotten to a place where we normalize what is not normal. An adult in the U.S. should not require 2 jobs to pay for the life they're living. That's the problem. That should not be normal. And now we've normalized it. You should not have to take your hobby to make extra money. That's the problem. That's the problem. You should be able to get a job, one job that allows you to show up, have the life you desire, whatever that is, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. We should not be working and toiling every single day of our life. That is not normal. We've normalized what's not normal. Check that. Check it. Getting 2 jobs should not be normal. Struggling should not be normal. Cut that shit out. There is no glory in the hustle. That's that bullshit right there.
Yeah, I think Ron had a great question. Why did you have to get 2 jobs? That's because the first job couldn't pay for everything you needed in life. So, you're absolutely right. I think that people, some people they come in here, they want attention. I gave you attention.
You need some
attention. I gave you the attention that you deserved. But
the best attention would be for Glock is just get out into the world and help some people. And stop saying, get off, do this, do that. They need to do this. They need to get a better education. They need to move to a new state.
Which is like, I don't know what Glock, who this, I'm not even going to say the name anymore. I don't know who this troll is, but the most educated constituency in America, you're looking at 2 of them. You're looking at us right here on the
bitches, Black women.
Yeah. Most educated constituency. And it's not just about we graduated from high school.
We have done some shit.
And we have multiple degrees.
Yes,
can run a circle around many people. So don't get that crap twisted.
Yeah.
People out here who are highly educated. You can see, with the current administration, education and qualifications is not a requirement for some of the jobs, because they definitely have people who did not earn the right to be where they're sitting now. It's not about your education. So don't insult people by saying get an education, because we are highly educated. Now you might want to go to the mountains or some places and where they may not want to be educated. I don't know, but it's not the people you're looking at on this platform. Just understand that. No. You just said get educated. Now you say degrees don't mean nothing. That means that you don't know what to say.
Whoever this Glock person is, they just need attention. That's all.
But I do believe it is great to have open conversation. I've said it a million times. If you want to talk, we can debate. Just make sure you bring some actual facts to the deal.
Right. Bring the facts.
I know that I curse a lot. I'm trying to make sure that bitches understand what the fuck I'm trying to say. That's why we say what we say. Miss Elise is here for that other side.
But the hilarious part is, one minute you say get better educated, then you say degrees don't mean that. So you gotta make up your mind, son.
This person obviously is not playing with the full deck. At least not today.
They're what you said. They're a troll. They're trolls.
They need attention. But I say the best remedy for the trolls: get out into the real world and start connecting with people that are hurting. Start connecting with people that are in need. Start helping people and start being an answer to the problem. Then coming up with your own theory that you heard on Fox or some other place.
Repeating.
You think it's an assumption that all people that are on welfare are such a person, they're getting money from the government, they're such and such a person. Get out and educate yourself.
Yeah.
Educate yourself, but not only educate yourself, mingle with people who are in need.
And I just want to say
most of them are working.
I just want to say to this is my last point as far as comments that were in there. As you look at the list of names in this chat, ma'am, sir, whoever you are, you're looking at some of the most highly educated people you'll ever know. Not just highly educated, we're well informed. We come with data.
Oh yeah.
We know that the majority of people who receive these benefits don't look like us. We're not. Mm-hmm. We also know that Black women in America are the most highly educated people in the country with multiple degrees, not just one. We got multiple. We got doctors. We got all of those things. So we come with qualifications. So it's not about just that.
Why are we not working? Oh, I'm an independent person. I have my own business.
Why are we not working?
But you know what? This is called working.
I did my job.
And she's retired. So there goes that. But okay.
That's the thing. It's like, why we
Anyway.
not working? Who said we not working? Like, you talking to the wrong
This
person.
is our work. This is work. We out here trying to help the people, trying to feed the people with some knowledge and some
build community.
education. Some education.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we need solutions.
Hilarious.
I said before, we're here for solutions. So you can be like, who is that? Bruce Willis? Either be part of the solution or be part of the problem. Stop being part of the fucking problem. Okay.
Yeah. And stop grasping at straws to see which one gonna work on it, because you don't have a straw in your bag of straws that's gonna address any of us. Because we work, we have work, we're retired public servants who earn our income, who are not receiving anything, but we are out here advocating for those who don't. Because according to, and I don't know what your beliefs are, but we're supposed to make sure that the poor are fed and clothed, that the widows and children are taken care of, and that we love our neighbors as we love ourselves, and not be selfish and only worry about me and myself. So we're worried about the community, because we are a connected community and powerful too. Get that.
And on that note, I think we have said what we need to say today. I don't have my sip.
I don't have
my sip. I don't have this. I have a sip glass, but I can't show it to the screen.
I got my red Solo cup. It does, but there's nothing. There's no alcohol.
After this, we need a drink, y'all. We need a drink. I'm ready to get on the plane and come to Gwendolyn and go to her bar.
I have a frappuccino in my red Solo cup.
Oh God. So anyway, if you are here for the first time, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure also you subscribe if you're here for the first time. And we welcome everyone. That's a lot of new people flowing in this chat today. You're welcome. And trolls, you could look. We again, trolls are not a bad thing, because you know what they do? They spur us into great conversations.
That's right.
Yeah, and we get to say, "Oh, this is how you thinking? Okay, now let's correct it."
Absolutely.
So, there you go.
And to understand, people who are coming here as trolls, you're not looking at people who are speaking out of just our thoughts.
Yeah.
We speak out of facts. We don't just have opinions. We have facts.
No, we have facts. Yeah.
And if you try to fact check us, we trust we will fact check you.
You better believe that. So if you are, make sure you join. If you're interested in staying connected, join my email list today at ronlewisphotos.com. And you click on that, and we'll stay in contact with you, and you'll get a newsletter. Also, I do event photography. If you would like to hiring a photographer, that is what I do. I have a job. And so that is what I do. I'm an event photographer, but I take time out to build community. Also, thank you to the Patreon members, those that support what we do here. If it wasn't for our Patreon members, we wouldn't be here. So our Patreon members makes this happen. They pay the bills, but they also keep us encouraged. And I love our Patreon members. And also, you're invited again, join our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. And again, we welcome everyone, no matter who you are. But if you get out of line, we will have to do some things to let you go. That's all.
We got some things for you.
Yeah.
I am in Texas.
Well, we're not as afraid. We're not afraid to address issues.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And we are highly educated and competent.
And I love our community was totally in. I wish I had enough like flashes of everyone's comments to put on the board, because you guys are really responding. I like
Real morning star was going in.
Two beautiful kids and a beautiful stepdaughter. I'm happy. I struggle, but I am happy, says Brianna. There you go. Yes. Kimmy Kim says, happy you were able to come on today. Important events that needed to be discussed. Right? There you go. And who else is in here? Let's see here. Anthony got his applause going, because you got Anthony all right. We got the Dems got Anthony all riled up today. And a bunch of us. Facts and share experiences too, says Caslaw. That's right. People are in this. Anna says, Anna says, I love educated Black people. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. And who else is in the building? And Shelly, so yeah, people need it. Yeah, here we go. Shelly says, take care of the people that need it, but not illegal immigrants here for a free ride. No,
We're all here on stolen fucking land. Let's not do that
There you go.
today. Okay, next comment.
Next comment, right? Yes, you know where that's going, right? And this is Brianna responding to earlier. She says laziness is definitely working 2 jobs, so you are lazy, Glock. And what else has been here being said? He is working. And Arlicia, oh, I love Arlicia says, but he's here. He is working. He's working on nerves. Maybe that. I don't know. He's working though. He's working. Jewel, y'all.
And we had time today.
It was a good time today. We had a good time. Thank you guys for joining and being with us today. And we'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow we have our Tip Tuesday, so we'll be talking photography tips tomorrow.
Yes.
And so no politics tomorrow. We'll be talking photo tips and photography. It is all about photography tomorrow. So join us if you want some photography tips. You are more than welcome to join us. And that's it. That's all, folks. Any last words, Gwendolyn?
I am going to say it's about community. Get involved. If you don't have a community, get you with some good people, because we have not seen the worst yet. That's just trying to tell you.
There you go. And Lise, what's your last word?
Stay connected, stay in community, and don't wait to see what they do next. You do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do something. It's time. They say, oh, it's gonna happen. Whatever's gonna happen the 25th. Make it be a surprise to them and let it happen tomorrow. Let it happen before then. Just shut it down.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Because this is, and I want people to understand, this wasn't the shut it down movement has nothing to do with the government shutdown. It's a country that needs to be corrected.
Yes.
And so the shutdown movement is about shutting it down because these people are crazy.
That's right.
Nobody's really. I'm not even gonna address that because apparently we live rent free in people's heads all day long.
You know how Black people do. You know, people like hiding out in the bushes and shit, trying to figure out like what's next, what's the next line dance, what's the next bottle of seasoning. Yes.
The only thing that lives in my I'm going to tell people the only thing that lives inside of me is how are we going to help each other? How do we bring the community to get the 99% together? Because I want people to understand this is not just about Black people. This is not what this platform is. It's about 99% of us who are also include poor white folks, which include white women. And if you are brown and from another country, speak a different language, you in that bucket. If you're not, then you're not in that 1%. 1% doesn't look like any of us. And I don't just mean the people on this page.
That's right.
Red Hampton died trying to get y'all to understand what the Rainbow Coalition really is multicolored, multiracial, multilingual. Mm-hmm. There's a global 99% of us in this bucket. There's no one outside of this bucket. That's the only thing that lives in my head is how do we come together and take this down, burn some stuff up, figuratively, literally, whatever way we got, burn it down. It had
that. And I just want you to know to focus on what matters. That's what we do here, focusing on what matters. And we will see you tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining and love you and make it a great day. This is a Motivation Monday, but we had some motivation conversations today. Be motivated. Later.
Yes.
Man,
he's lucky he got you here because I would have cussed his bitch ass out. I was like, hold it, sis, hold it. I was
but like, you know what? This audience was not playing. This
you know who the fuck we are. Well, who are you? What is this?
This community was not playing. That
This
was like,
goes back to what I talked about.
oh, we're still live, she says.
Yes, we are
We're
still live. That's fine. We can go still live because look, since we're here, I want to make this shit clear.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.